You have said a prayer your entire life. But what if I told you that the version you know is incomplete? That a single, powerful line was intentionally removed, and because it's missing you've always felt a quiet emptiness after you say, Amen? This is not a conspiracy. This is a forgotten truth. And it took a small boy, a strange dream, and a secret hidden in an attic to bring it back. There is a melody that has been playing for 2,000 years. A symphony of whispered words. For a boy named Leo, it was the first song his soul ever learned. But for him, the song always ended a breath too soon. He was a quiet child, with eyes that noticed the way the dust danced in the afternoon sun. Each night he would kneel by his window, and recite the familiar words. Our Father, who art in heaven. He would send the words out into the night. But the pigeon never returned. The prayer ended, and all that was left was the echo of his own voice, and a feeling that something had been left waiting for a reply. One rain-soaked afternoon, while exploring the labyrinth of his grandfather's attic, Leo found a key. In an old sea chest was a photograph. His great-grandfather, Elias, a man who had spoken with God in the deserts of his own solitude. Taped to the back was a slip of paper. On it, in a spidery, faded script, were a few lines. The prayer is a circle. Listen for the return. For the breath is his and the light is yours. Leo didn't understand the words, but he felt them. That night, he placed the photograph of Elias on his bedside table, and the strange note beneath his pillow. As he closed his eyes, the words swirled in his mind. And so he dreamed. Now, what I'm about to describe is the very moment everything changed. This is where the boy discovered the missing piece, the line that was erased from history. If you've ever finished a prayer and felt that something was still missing, what happens next will explain exactly why. Pay close attention because this will change the way you pray forever. It was not a dream of fantasy. It was a dream of stunning, palpable reality. He found himself standing on a vast, flat plain under a sky drowning in stars. The silence hummed with a low, pervasive frequency, like the sound of the planet itself breathing. A man stood before him. It was Elias, his eyes holding the light of 1,000 forgotten suns. He said nothing. Elias knelt, placing one hand on the earth and the other gently on Leo's small chest, right over his heart. And then the symphony began again. But this time it was complete. Leo heard the prayer not with his ears but with his entire being. Our Father, who art in heaven. This was not a king on a throne but the source. Hallowed be thy name. An invitation to make his own life a sacred act. Thy kingdom come, a harmonization. Give us this day our daily bread. A sustenance that was more than food, it was insight. And forgive us our trespasses. He saw cords of resentment. Forgiveness was the act of cutting those cords. And lead us not into temptation. A prayer for clarity, for protection from the great forgetting. He reached the end, the place where his waking prayer always stopped. The place of the silent Amen. But in the dream, Elias leaned forward and spoke the lost words. For yours is the spirit and the light forever breathing through me. So why was this line removed? This is the part that shocks most people. It wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate decision made by powerful people centuries ago. And the reason is simple and perhaps a little frightening. This single line makes you incredibly powerful. It makes the entire religious structure unnecessary. If this truth is resonating with you, if you feel a sense of recognition, type, I remember in the comments below. Let me show you what was at stake. The moment the words were spoken, the circuit closed. The love that Leo had sent outward now turned like a mighty river and flowed back into him. The spirit was the very breath in his lungs. The light was the consciousness behind his own eyes. The Father was not separate from him. He was the breath Leo was breathing. He now knew the truth. The prayer had been edited. The final, returning line had been cut centuries ago, by an institution that understood a terrifying truth. A person who knows they are a living temple does not need a mediator. They are free. The edited prayer kept heaven at a safe arm's length. But the complete prayer erased the distance. It made the kingdom an internal, present-tense reality. He awoke with a start. His room was the same. But Leo was fundamentally, irrevocably changed. The silent ache was gone. This story is more than just a tale about a boy. It's an invitation to you. An invitation to remember. If you felt something stir inside you while listening to this, that feeling of recognition, of coming home, then you are not here by accident. The memory is waking up in you just as it did in Leo. The algorithm brought you here for a reason. If this message found you, do me a favor. Smash the like button. It tells YouTube this message matters. Share this video with one person you feel needs to hear it. Maybe they felt the same emptiness. And subscribe to this channel because this is just the beginning. We are unraveling the forgotten truths one by one, and I don't want you to miss what comes next. That night and every night after, Leo did not simply recite the prayer. He breathed it. For yours is the spirit and the light forever breathing through me. And in the silence that followed, he did not feel absence. He felt a presence. He was the note that completed the ancient song. The symphony at long last was whole. And if you listen closely in the quiet of your own heart, you can hear it playing for you too.